Give them a few more minutes, and we'll get going with the meeting. Prior to that, I want to make a general statement. The administrator and I, we met with the Safety Council on Monday to give our quarterly report. That report is online if someone wants to be able to read that report. And then what has disturbed me was there was an article written by one of the papers, and the title reads, Syracuse Police Watchdog Board missed 57 cases and the numbers could be higher. First of all, I want to make sure that everyone understands that this board is not a police watchdog board. We are an oversight body. And from this point on, I think everyone should be addressing this board as an oversight body, not as a watchdog. It has a negative connotation. The other thing about the missed 57 cases, which is misleading, we have not missed 57 cases. There were 57 cases that actually expired prior to us taking on the organization. So it's not a matter of missing cases. It's just a matter of those cases never were able to be heard because they didn't fall within the jurisdiction of the 18 months. So we want to make sure that that information out there to the public, because we don't want the public thinking that we, in fact, are lacking our responsibility and not looking at cases. All the cases that are pending and still within that 18-month certification, we will have those done by the time they reach that point. So we're not letting anything slide through the cracks. So I just want to make that clear to everyone that from this point on, if you can make sure that we have the data out there correct, we would appreciate that. And
So can we expect that the data is going to be corrected?
I mean, I understand you guys are addressing me. I personally will say that I don't really think there's any justification. The first line, or the fourth line, fourth graph of the story specifically says that those 57 cases all expired under the previous administration. And yeah, I honestly don't really, I personally really believe in you guys and want you to succeed. And the reality is, in my opinion, that you were taken out of a hole a little bit. And we hope to report on the successes as things go forward.
Well, yeah, well, one of the things is that for me, the first thing when I saw that Syracuse Police Watchdog missed 57 cases, before I even got to the rest of the article, it had left a negative connotation with me. So, if we can make sure that we get that data correct, that'll be great. So, okay. With that, I'd like to open up the meeting. The December 4th CRB official meeting is now open. We'll do the roll call. Excuse me. We'll do the roll call. Elise Baker. Okay, not here. Linda. Okay. Ada. Let's see. Don Johnson, here. Mike Kern.
Here.
Harry.
Here.
Peggy Chase.
Here?
Samia. Not here. Octavia.
Here.
Desire.
Here.
Okay. So we do have a quorum, so we can proceed with the meeting. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I was
Mike.
going to say, Dan, I was going to piggyback on your comments just before you took attendance.
Okay.
And my questions are, they are directed at the reporter, but I don't expect them to answer. My first question is, who wrote the headline? And did the reporter write it or an editor? Because the headline is misleading. Secondly, there's no reflection in this article about was any attempt made to interview the terminated or the previous director under whose watch all these things happened. There's no reflection that that person was sought out for comment. Third thing, there's no reflection that the reason the board wasn't full is because the elected officials of the Common Council didn't appoint anybody to fill those spots. How could the board properly function when the Common Council? I think the focus of the report is completely misdirected. Okay? And the people that are responsible for putting us in this situation that we're in should have been interviewed, that should have been reflected in it, and that would have been a thorough and comprehensive report of where we are versus what is a headline that's supposed to grab your attention as if somebody missed them. They were in a box in a closet or something like that. I just think it's lousy reporting. I don't care whether they retract it, fix it, or do anything. It's just a lousy report.
Right. And I do appreciate those comments. So hopefully going forward, we'll have a better working relationship with any of the media that they report things as the way they are, and we'll go from there. So first thing on the agenda is the approval of the November meetings. Has everyone had an opportunity to look at those minutes? Okay. Can we get a motion on the floor to approve the November meeting?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay. Can we
I'll
get
second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. All those in favor? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion carries. The November report will be entered into the records and will be filed online. Okay. The chair report. So the update on staffing. Oh, okay. Elise is here now, so we'll make that an adjustment that Elise Baker is here. Okay. Okay. On the updating on staff on the citizen review office, right now we're at the point where we still need to hire an investigator. We had a candidate that was supposed to start last Monday. The prior Friday at 3:40, we got an email stating that he no longer wanted the position, so that reopened up the position. So we're in the process of looking at some different options on how to take care of that vacant position until we either get someone hired or we come up with a solution on how we can better handle that. In the meantime, what is happening is that the administrator is doing all the investigating, and I'm also assisting in that process of reviewing those cases and making sure that nothing falls through the cracks. That's an update on the staffing. We did board investigating training Saturday the 15th, and went very well. We had an opportunity to look at a mock case, so everyone understood exactly how to review a case. We had a template on things to look for in those cases that you could log down, so we try to make this more efficient when we go into executive session when we're reviewing cases, that everyone has the same format to make sure that those things flow the way they're supposed to flow. Then just this week, Monday, the administrator and myself met with the council for a quarterly review. As I said in the beginning, that quarterly review is online now. If anyone wants to look at that, review is online for your visiting, your responses. And that's pretty much all that I have. The next thing we're going to cover is the administrator report.
Good evening, everyone. Don has said quite a bit of what everybody has been doing, so I will just say that November has been pretty steady and busy for the CRB. We kicked it off with our monthly meeting with, or our quarterly meeting with, the chief and the Syracuse PD staff. In attendance were Adonia, myself, board members were Linda, Elise, and Michael. During this meeting, questions from the Center of Community Alternatives were presented to Chief CISO. To aid the community in moving forward, a suggestion arose, this discussion to hold a civilian training for the general community, as well as a separate civilian training, especially for the CRB, a special one, just for the CRB and the board members themselves. So we are definitely working on those to have a civilian training so we know we're more aware of what the police is doing, how they operate, and if we have questions ourselves, then we can ask them questions that we wouldn't normally get a chance to ask them. We have our weekly staff meetings that are held every Friday. We're the staff, we come together, and that gives them an opportunity to present their upcoming events. We plan for them, they voice their opinions and ideas, and we ask for help and support among all of us that are there. And also, we discuss some cases and things like that. I always get their input and get someone else's eyes on what I'm watching as well, just in case I might miss something. So, the training and professional development, Don has already spoke about that we had the training on the 15th, and it was from 12 to 2. CRB staff was present to assist setup and to support. The training covered several crucial topics, such as how to access video footage, the process of reviewing cases, what is expected when reviewing the case, the importance of non-biased observation and confidentiality. Those are the things that we covered during the training. Also, on the 18th of November, I attended the Lexipol training titled Readiness is a Mindset, Not a Moment. The training included 6 seminars. The first one was Confronting the Leadership Crisis, Safety Culture, 5 Warnings, Sign and Personal Behavior, Trends in Law and Policy for Public Safety Leaders, and The Mission Involved, So Must We. So that was a pretty good training itself. It was long, but it was very, very, very informational. The neighborhood outreach and education for CRB staff and board members prioritize attending neighborhood and educational events to inform residents about the CRB's function and resources, which we're out there doing quite a bit now. Adonia and Don and Octavia attended the Northside Tomorrow's Neighborhood, which is called TNT, that meeting. Adonia distributed brochures and discussed the specific functions of the CRB within the community. Adonia and myself also attended Roberts Middle School Building Men program, where we handed out brochures and the cards that we have for them that says what to do if you're stopped by police, and we gave them informational cards, and it's called Respect. Adonia came up with this, how do I want to say this?
Campaign?
There you go, informational materials. So, and each letter represents something different, which I thought was a very, very, very good idea, especially with dealing with the age group that we were dealing with. We've also did a tour of the 911 center. That was brought up in our chief's meeting, and Adonia successfully arranged that on the 19th for us, and in attendance was, of course, the CRB staff, and from the board was Octavia and Desire. We got a chance to learn what 911 does. We walked the premises to see how calls are dispatched, how they are handled. It was very, very interesting on how they are trained, and I would recommend any of us, if we get an opportunity to go up to the 911 center, please take that tour. You will understand how stressful it is to be in their position and in holding other people's lives in your hand when answering these phone calls and having to be able to dispatch police officers to places and making sure that they get there safely. So I will recommend that everyone, if you ever get an opportunity to do that tour, please do that tour for the 911 center. A major administrative accomplishment, I will say this month, came from Julie. We discovered that the CRB was not receiving complaints that were submitted online. She confirmed with IT that these online submissions were being routed to an email address of the previous administrator. To resolve this issue, Julie requested that all future online complaints forms be directed to the general CRB email address with copies sent to myself and her. That will ensure that we as staff can monitor the complaints that are coming in. God forbid I'm not there, Julie is not there, then it goes directly to the general CRB. Yes.
My question is, when did you find this out?
November,
Okay.
around November 3rd or 4th.
Was this when you went before the Common Council? Did you present them with this
Yes, we
information?
did.
And so this report, well, he's gone now.
Yeah.
Apparently, he heard his feelings were hurt.
He was there.
Yeah, that is a crucial element of the article about the board, what you just stated, completely missing. Another example of just what a lousy report that was.
Well, and here's the thing with that snafu in the online forms was that we're always checking to make sure the forms are in. And luckily, someone called and said, I submitted a complaint. I got a letter saying that, because the system will automatically generate a letter when you send in the complaint, it'll send a letter back to them saying that we received your complaint. And they said, but we haven't heard anything from the CRB. And so that's when Julie took on for herself to start looking into there, finding out that when people were submitting things online, they were not coming to us. So we had no visibility of those forms. So once we got with the IT staff, then we closed that gap up. And so now we have a process in place where there's always a backup system if something goes down and goes wrong. So
Where were the emails going?
they're just going into hyperspace. So if you went online,
So they were going to the prior
They
administrator?
Yeah, they were going to the prior administrator.
The prior administrator.
but her email
Email
was
address.
It was eliminated
what was-
when she was
yeah, it was
eliminated.
taken offline. So it was just in essence just going into hyperspace. So, but because the system would generate a letter back to the complainant saying that we received your complaint, and then they never heard anything back, because we always, whenever we get a complaint, the staff at the office will usually reply to them with a letter saying that we got your complaint. This is the status of that complaint. So they know that we know that they have a complaint out there, and we're looking at that. So,
So it didn't send a reply saying this wasn't successful email? Not
Right.
sent?
Yeah, because
It was
most
sent
of them
back.
should come back.
So what
like-
happens is, because it's going to an email address, it still generates them a letter that says, hey, we got your complaint. It's just the automatic thing, just
But
like
it didn't bounce back
it
and say
didn't bounce
this
back to say
email
that
doesn't
the email address
exist anymore.
wasn't good anymore. Correct.
because
Yeah.
the way the form is, it goes to the CRB form. So when it hits there, then it sends a letter to the administrator, who was the prior administrator, and then they send a letter back there. So the recipient would never see that email saying that it never did hit the email applicant. So
That's been going on all year?
The email address wasn't closed out, that's the
Right.
problem.
That's-
Okay.
that's-
I could send an email now to a county attorney who's no longer working there. It'll kick it back and say,
Yeah.
no longer
Yeah,
valid.
this
Nobody
email's no
invalidated that email address.
right.
So that email was still live then?
The email's still alive. Was still alive. It's
She had
been taken down.
access to it or no?
No, because we off-boarded them.
So the cases that were sent prior to whatever, as far as a year back, where are they at? In hyperspace too?
No, we have everything.
We got 'em
So
out.
that's my next part is, there was 132 backlog complaints. Out of the 132, some of them were dating back to 2022. But as Julie went through them, we realized that 38 of the files were within the 18-month statute of limitation. And so they were set up as new intakes and submitted. And we are working on them now.
How are we gonna
Out of 132, only 38 of them needed to be addressed, and we've addressed them already.
And one of the things I need to point out is that those 38 emails, it doesn't change the 18 months window.
Correct.
That's because that's under the legislation. We still have to follow those rules and regulations. But at a point that we're able to address those 38 because we caught those in time to do that.
So the other 90 or whatever it is, 90 some odd.
Some of them were duplicates because even though they submitted them online, because there wasn't a response, they submitted them to the office as well.
We can
So,
compare
Yeah, so we've went all of that out, taking care of that.
the
So,
data
yeah.
and showing.
Yep.
We can put that in a data file to show all of that with all of this.
it's already done.
Okay.
Good job, Julie.
Julie and data analysts, all of them did a good job. I know it was a team effort, right? Good job. Yes.
Also, with Julie being busy going through all of the files, she's also drafted and mailed 14 letters to clients. Met with 3 in person. Of course, she made and received several phone calls in regards to cases, some substantial, some not so substantial. But she's weeded through all of them, and we have a pretty good working team at CRB. Everybody is working really well together and helping each other come along to do what we need to do. Also, we introduced Chris to you guys on the last meeting, and I will say Chris has been doing a phenomenal job since he's been with us. Literally hit the ground running, and he started making charts and recreating brochures and compiling data, making sure that we had charts whenever we went out. We had charts when we presented during our public safety meeting to show what we have done. He's even dug back into data that he wasn't even here for, but yet he has compiled it together to make sure that the CRB is looking good and it looks like we know what we're doing. So kudos to Chris. Thank you very much.
All of you.
And I just look forward to the staff working together so that we could serve our community better. That's my report.
So one of the things we had talked about the last time that we probably need to revisit this time is meeting dates. Thursday seems to be a busy date for a lot of people. So we were looking at maybe changing the meeting date from Thursday to a Tuesday. Depending on how the board feels about that.
Our first Tuesday?
Yeah, it would be the first Tuesday of the month.
In
So,
local law that it's supposed to be on a Thursday?
I'm not sure.
No.
Connor, is there any legislation that says that we have to meet on a Thursday?
We gotta
Okay.
find out from the house, in other words, if there's certain
Yeah.
setups for Tuesdays or something that's appointed for that date.
And we checked on there, and the first Tuesday of the month is available, so
Every month?
every month.
Okay, so you do.
So
So-
it's only the second Tuesday where there is a
Well,
meeting for our, so any Tuesday but the second Tuesday is great.
So, one of the things, just to make mention, because the New Year falls, that first Thursday falls right after New Year's Day, that meeting has been moved to the 8th of January. So everyone can put that on their calendar, that we're going to move that meeting to the 8th of January. But we also need to talk about this migrating from a Thursday to a Tuesday. And I don't know if we need to make a motion on that, or how do we put that into play, Connor? Okay. Okay. So what we'll do, I'll wait to hear back from you. Once I hear back from you, I'll send out notification to the board to let them know that the first Tuesday of the month is available. And if we get a majority of people who want to go with that, then we'll be moving the meetings from the first Thursday to the first Tuesday of the month. So I'm going to put it on hold for a second. I need to talk to Connor about an issue I need to get a ruling on before I bring it up.
That would be great for me.
You know what I told you I do on Tuesday nights?
Right. Show us legs.
He does what?
Bagpipe practice.
Where was this article?
I'm good with Thursday.
Did you read it?
I didn't,
I'm good with
I
Thursday.
just,
Did you read it?
2 days ago it came out, 3 days ago?
yeah, that,
It was written by
I,
him.
yeah. Well,
So-
obviously,
So it came out on Tuesday
What's that?
in the Post-Standard?
I still
Tuesday?
have,
I believe so, yeah, this week.
I'll have to,
So I read the
When that
paper
article came
all the
out,
way through. I didn't.
I never
notice it.
read
Yeah, I didn't
Syracuse.com
know.
other than
But on-
obituaries, and I'm
online.
not kidding.
Because
Because
that's-
The ones I
oh,
read.
sometimes
nothing
things
there.
don't make it
There's
to the,
nothing there. My wife sent me the
Sometimes they
clip
don't put
from
it in
work.
the
She looks it
actual
up.
paper.
And her
or they might put it
the thing in
online on
her
one
text,
day
you know, she
and
attached it, she
days
said,
later,
recycle
it'll,
it.
yeah.
her
it'll show
comment
up
was, I got the
in
article
the
They'll
here.
look online.
But I've watched
Whatever. She said,
Tuesday and today's paper.
how did you miss, I mean, her
Just type
thing,
in
how did you
CRB,
miss so many
Syracuse, it'll
cases?
pop up.
Okay.
How did she just put in her thing, how did you miss so many cases? And I said, exactly.
Was it?
Okay, so we're going to
Also,
get a
it's a-
ruling on that issue that I needed to discuss with the board. Once I get council to give us an okay on that, then I'll bring that up to the rest of the board on what's going. So,
You gotta get public notice that you're changing that prior also?
not sure, I have to work,
Because it's open meetings law and all that.
Right.
shit?
You would have to, so if we vote and say yes, then it definitely has to be put on the CRB website, the media, our media pages, things like that. Also the CNY, everything will be posted to show that the meeting date has changed.
Is it like 30 days at least prior, all that stuff?
yeah, so
that's
once,
a question for
yeah,
him.
once we get a ruling on that, I'll let you know.
Dan, you said that the first meeting is January 8th, right?
Right, first meeting is January
Got it.
8th right
And
now.
that's a Thursday, correct?
That's a
Yes.
Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, unless.
Okay, I have a few comments I want to make. So, following the 911 call tour, first of all, I want to appreciate Adonia and Noride for organizing that incredible tour. It was really educative and very informative. So, after the visit, I shared the contacts of Regina. She is the one in charge of the training. So I shared the contacts to the New American Forum board member and the president, Hasina. She's called Hasina, and I requested her to set up a training, an additional training to train New American population, refugees, because when they are resettled in this country, they are usually given like a basic training about how to call the police. And I hope if they can get an additional training, that can be very, very helpful. I also personally learned a lot because most of people, like, they complain about calling 911 and they don't get a response in time. And I saw how the work is done and how tough it is. So I will also go and educate people and tell them, hey, it's not easy like you think, it's understaffed. People receive a lot of calls, so I just wanted to share that. Then also another thing I want to share is Dan Johnson requested us to have meetings in our constituencies, and I talked to Mark Cassie, and I couldn't think of any other place to host you guys other than Northside Learning Center. So I talked to Mark Cassie, he gave me the space. In February, I'm willing to host you guys there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So those are my comments.
Okay. And once you get the date, if you can get that over to Adonia, that would be great. And then we can put it on our calendar on things to do, so.
All right.
Okay. Anyone else has any comments?
I just wanted to add that one of the things Adonia's going to be working on is setting up community meetings to talk about how the police prioritize the cause. Because the community needs to understand that.
Absolutely.
The whole community needs to understand that.
Okay. Any other comments? Anyone from the general population that wants to speak? Okay. We have no speakers, so with that, we need to have a motion to go into executive session.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Okay, do we got a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion carried. We're going to go into executive session, and we'll be back after we finish case reviews.
Going to the Bat Cave?
Back here, yes.
Got it, okay. Oh, Don, for my training,
Yes.
I'm downtown a lot every day.
for taking the time out to be here.
Thank you.
Because he's got a new baby and he could be at home playing with the new baby.
Congratulations.
You got a girl or boy? Boy. Oh, boy, another Connor, huh?
Boy, oh boy, it's a boy. And the other thing I want to say, since this is our last meeting in 2025, I want to thank everybody for sticking in there, and I want to wish everybody a happy holiday.
Oh, yeah, and the other thing we,
You as well.
the questions that we have, Mike, when is our next meeting with SPD?
January 13th.
And who will it
We have
be?
time.
Yes, but we come up with some.
Yeah, is anybody, that
questions.
hasn't been
anybody
settled yet,
know?
right, who the new chief is? They haven't
Not yet,
announced?
they're gonna tomorrow.
So I think we need to meet before, so we can come up with our agenda, our committee. We can do it on Zoom, we can do it on anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hang on, I want to make sure. The, January,
What is that committee called?
called the police committee. The,
police
1:30,
Public safety.
1:30 to, January 13th, Tuesday. Yeah.
But that's your 13, then Tuesday go, that y'all talking about.
But that's in the daytime.
Where did you see that?
Yeah, who do you think coming from? Now,
We
leave
were
here,
talking about
they
that.
go from here?
Welcome to my world.
That's news to me.
We have to have a vote, Dan.
Oh, we're gonna,
We got to reconvene
clock us
and
out?
adjourn, right?
Oh, that's right, that's right, I forgot.
I said clock.
Yeah, and you
Um,
can tell her.
We need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh,
out of
so we need
executive
a motion to come back into session?
Make a motion, come
I
back
make
to
that
session.
motion.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstention or objection?
No.
Okay, motion carried, we're back in session. Now we need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
It's been motioned, been second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those. Motion carried,
Rather not.
meeting's over.
So, but just,
So you owe me a call. Have you been?